Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FD Movie Podcast. This time we're talking about probably one of the most iconic action movies of all time.
We're going to rip some spines out today.
Yeah, gonna rip some spines. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right now.
We're going to do it, and we're going to rip spines out on the podcast.
We're going to do it now.
We've got a special sacrifice
that
will be on screen shortly, and we'll...
No, but in 1987, a little movie called Predators came out. Or Predator, I guess it'd be.
Well,
either way, and or either. And probably, if not the, one of the best cast of an action movie.
Oh, yeah.
Up until at least The Expendables. I mean, there was nothing this broad.
Definitely. I can agree. I love the Expendables cast.
It's funny you say that because I feel like you could take any of these guys in this movie and do a spin-off, a one-off, and it would be good.
Yeah.
Or like Billy and Poncho or Mac and Blaine.
Yeah.
And just tell their backstory and it would be exciting and awesome.
It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely do like a Commando style movie with any of these characters.
Right.
Every single one of these guys is a badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for maybe what's his name? The guy in the glasses.
Oh, well, yeah. And even he was
interesting.
Yeah. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, if he hadn't already, this just solidified him to me as the top action star of that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was no one bigger.
You had Conan, you had Commando, you had Terminator 1, and then this.
You could say that Stallone was the top guy, but it'd be really hard.
He didn't he have more roles in the early 90s anyway?
Yeah.
Stallone?
I mean, he had
He had Rocky, of course, in the 70s, but what did he have in the 80s? Like, that was huge. Wasn't it
other Rockies?
Around the time of Predator, he had Cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, because everything else was late 80s, early 90s, and then in the mid 90s, like Demolition Man and Judge Dredd were all early mid 90s.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger,
yeah. Daybreak.
Lockout actually wasn't too bad.
No, Lockout was pretty good.
Well, I think one of my favorites is Copland, dude.
Yeah.
Copland was awesome.
Yeah.
That was low, I think early 90s.
Yeah.
But you're right. Schwarzenegger's definitely... he's my favorite action star.
He actually dropped some muscle mass for this role, so he wouldn't look so
too big.
Yeah,
and it's like it's such a masculine movie. Just automatically, especially when Arnold and Carl Weathers meet up and they do the whole. Flexing their arms. Yeah. Like, you're in for just a super macho, masculine.
That's what I loved about Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, because they kind of did that again. Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. Anyway. But the Predator, as badass as these guys are, the Predator which for me, I watched it when I was really, really little, and he scared the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah. And he should have.
Kind of like
one ugly mamma jamma.
Yeah. I mean, looks not just the way he looks, but his mannerisms are so like wild animal, but not at the same time. Yeah. Like deliberate but wild.
Right.
And it's really kind of terrifying.
And that could be accredited to Kevin Peter Hall, who made a career out of playing creatures.
Yeah.
He was Harry from Harry and the Hendersons and numerous others that I can't think of.
Harry and the Hendersons, all right.
Yeah, and I don't know, he did Predator and Predator 2 as Predator. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was probably one of the best what do they call them? Creature feature actors. Like he was the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel if he would have been alive in like the 30s and 40s, he would have been huge.
Oh yeah.
Bella Lugosi and those guys.
Oh man, yeah, like those old monster movies. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, because I mean he's the guy. He was the guy to go to, and this showed it more than most movies. I think it was just everything about him. When he was meant to be scary, he was scary.
Yeah.
When he was meant to just be hidden, like, I don't know, it just everything about him was awesome.
And even when he takes off the helmet, I mean, to me, the slowly taking off of the dreads or whatever they are is far more scarier than the roar he gives.
Yeah,
menacing. You know?
Yeah, because you don't know.
Yeah, I'm just playing with this guy.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
Especially the first time you watch the first movie, you have no idea what's behind that mask. And I just assumed, that you were just going to see the mask, and then you get to that part, and it's like, oh, what the fuck?
What the hell is this? Yeah.
I love the green blood from these movies too, from the Predator. Yeah. I think that's awesome. It's which I'd watched Alien first.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh well, he's got the same. He's an alien, and the xenomorph is an alien, so they must have the same exact
kind of blood.
Yeah, green oozy blood. I love everything about Predator. It's the dialogue's not very good, but at the same time, it's powerful though, and it's delivered perfectly by everyone.
I like how the last act of the movie, there's no dialogue.
Yeah,
it's almost like a silent film.
Yeah,
and that's one of my favorite parts of the entire movie, and some of Arnold's best acting.
Oh yeah,
when he comes up out and gets all the mud all over him, and he's leaning back against that tree. And his eyes tell everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm of the thought that you give Arnold too much to say, it kind of becomes campy.
Yeah.
So
I think you're right.
I'd say in most things. Yeah.
But I think he looked scared shitless.
Yeah.
With his...
Well, what I liked most about the last part of that movie was Arnold. You had the Predator hunting him down, and like I was saying earlier, the Predator was like half wild animal, half, deliberate hunter. And then the last part of the movie, Arnold is the same. He's, half wild animal, half deliberate hunter. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
There's not many other movies that can deliver on anything like that. I just can't think of any that can compete when it comes to stuff like that.
Which is funny. The script was written by two brothers and was handed over unsolicited. It may have been one of those that was dropped on somebody's doorstep.
Yeah.
And for their first foray into Hollywood, I thought it was awesome story.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. It's an awesome action movie. I think everybody needs to see it. It's not just an awesome action movie either. It's an awesome sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
I think it takes two camps and puts them together, and kind of like Aliens did.
Right.
Alien was a straight sci-fi horror movie, but then Aliens was like an action movie and sci-fi. Like my dad hates sci-fi, but he loves action movies.
Yeah.
And he likes all the Predator movies, even though there's a sci-fi movie about an alien that killed, comes
when you
down
can cross genres like
that.
You bring everybody.
That's the way I can tell if something is good enough to watch, is if it can get my dad's approval, then it's gonna be entertaining, because he hates everything. so usually, if an action movie or a sci-fi movie can get my dad's vote, then it's going to be good. And this definitely, like, he liked Predator, and
I don't know how you can't though.
You know what I mean? Exactly. That's kind of what I was
like. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the series beforehand. Yeah. Just like I'm not really a big fan of Alien.
Yeah.
I like the movies. I'm just not a huge fan. But I'm not a huge sci-fi fan. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not into them as much. I think my tastes are changing the older I get.
Yeah.
I think I'm able to go back and watch them and enjoy them better now.
Oh, yeah.
Like watching Alien and Aliens now is much better for me than trying to watch them years ago.
Well, as a kid, it was
scary for one, but
Aliens was the shit as a kid.
Yeah,
like that was the absolute my favorite was Aliens.
Really,
and then now as an adult, I'm like, Alien is fucking way better. Or, well, I can't say that.
It's not way better, but it's definitely
a better film.
It's one of those like Terminator where you're going to divide people between
right.
Yeah, exactly.
But it just like Terminator, they're both different movies. You got Terminator was a chase film. It was a thriller. It was a horror almost sci-fi film, just like Alien.
Yeah.
Whereas Aliens and Terminator 2 were action sci-fi.
Speaking of
action movies.
Speaking of action, one of my favorite scenes in this movie or any other is the assault on the gorilla camp.
Yeah.
It goes on for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That is just badassery and machismo to the 10th degree. I think I love everything about that scene.
Yeah, and the best thing about that is that it shows how badass these guys are.
Yeah.
It sets it up to where you don't think anything can stop these guys because they're just all badass. Every one of them is just outlandishly masculine, like to the point that it's not believable. But and then all of a sudden you have Predator just start killing them, like they're nothing, like swatting them down like flies. And so it really does a good job of showing that the Predator is that much more deadlier superior than they are.
Oh yeah.
And that scene has some of the best one-liners, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I Ain't Got Time to Bleed.
Yeah.
Which he named his biography after. Not that I've read that, believe me.
Seen it at Barnes & Noble.
That we don't have near us.
I love being a guy that chews. I love at the beginning with Jesse Ventura when he's putting the chew in. And they're like... He's getting, looks of disgust and stuff. Because I get that all the time.
He spits on Dylan's shoe.
Yeah, I get that shit all the time. And I just, I don't know.
The sexual Tyrannosaurus line.
Yeah, the sexual Tyrannosaurus. Yeah.
Jesse Ventura's a crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Good God.
But he was good in this.
Oh, yeah, he was.
I mean, everybody was.
Yeah, he was great in it. Honestly, I don't know how. I don't even know how Jesse Ventura was great in it, because Jesse Ventura is just Jesse Ventura. Right?
Yeah, always.
Like, always.
Always.
And I guess it just somehow was a role for him. It was just because it was him.
Yeah.
I believed that was Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was actually Jesse Ventura they put in the movie. And,
they didn't tell him it was a movie.
Yeah,
they just told him the Predator was going to hunt him down.
The Predator is going to kill you, and you need to do something about this.
His line, time to bring old Painless out the bag. You better believe I use that in the bedroom.
Yeah. Well, you could take most lines from this movie and use them in the bedroom, and they would fit. Oh, shoot. Anyway.
Come on, do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Come on, kill me. That's a good bedroom liner.
That's good pillow talk.
Yeah, it's good pillow talk. Yeah. Come on, do it.
Come on. Then in 1990.
It's terrible, Schwarzenegger.
Came Predator 2. And it's mostly regarded as a terrible movie.
Because it was.
By most people. And rightfully so. It's not good. It is not a good movie. But whenever I talk about Predator 2, I always tell people, you got to think this was 1990. The stuff they tried to do in this film was miles ahead of most other attempts. Most people were getting lazy at this point with their movies. Predator 2 tried to do something completely different from the original, and it didn't quite work, but
it's still a lot of fun.
But it's still a lot of fun. And I think I love Danny Glover as a tough guy cop. I mean, how can you not? That's him. I just assume Danny Glover's running around LA all day, every day, being a cop.
I guarantee it. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, he has to be.
I'm too old for this shit.
He has to be, because that's who he is. I guarantee it. That's who he is.
And I can believe Gary Busey running around working for a secret government agency, too.
Absolutely.
I guarantee it. He's not as crazy as he comes off, right? It's conspiracy.
Yeah. He's actually a level-headed guy.
He's a level-headed government plant. That's what they want.
But no,
I love him in Black Sheep. God, what a stupid role. I love that though.
No, it was a pretty well cast movie too. Just not like they didn't have the big group of badasses. Yeah. It was a different group of guys. Right. They weren't, which it was a different time too. And I know that sounds crazy because 87 and 90, there's not a big gap in the years, but at the same time, that was a completely like everything was changing from 87 to 90 in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so the idea of the tough guy had changed from 87 to 90 a little bit. And, you know, kind of like it does now, you know.
It changes every few years.
It changes all the time. And, I mean, Danny Glover is a tough guy.
Yeah. Gary Busey did have some really good roles back then, though.
Yeah. And
like,
this
always
one,
similar roles.
This one was really good. I think one of my favorite scenes is with Gary Busey, and that's the meat locker scene. I love that shit. I love that. And it's so dated now. Yeah. If you try to go watch it now, like all the electronics in the van are all stupid looking, and I don't.
And that's the thing with this franchise. I used to rent this when I was a kid, like over not this one, but the first one, and just the Predator heat vision, I guess you'd call it, is for its time was mind blowing.
Yeah,
and thought that was a huge thing till you see it now, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But back then, that was pretty wild.
Awesome, yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah,
and Danny Glover didn't have a whole platoon of guys, but he did have one thing that I felt was underutilized, and that's Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
I really liked his kind of slimy character in here.
He's always good as a slimy character.
And
he's good in everything.
Well,
like Bill Paxton was good in everything.
Yeah. In this movie, he is officially in a class all by himself where he's been killed by a Terminator, an alien, and a Predator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Game over, man.
Yeah, game over, man.
Game over, man.
Which I really can't think of anybody else that was in the cast other than Danny Glover, Gary Busey, and Bill Paxton. But I don't.
Wasn't the main woman who was pregnant that the Predator didn't kill? Wasn't she in The Running Man? Am I thinking?
Oh, I bet you're right.
Like Maria something Alonso, or I don't know her very well, but
I bet you're right.
I think that's the same actress.
Which that's not saying much.
Right.
She went from Running Man to friggin' Predator 2. Sorry if you're listening to this, ma'am.
But I like Bill Paxton's death in here. Earlier in the movie, it's set up Predators on a playground, and some kid asks him, want some candy?
Yeah.
And as he's stalking, it's the callback to the first movie where he's repeating something a character says.
Yeah.
Want some candy? It's cheesy, but it works.
Yeah. It worked good. And I think the most memorable scene for me was is the part where Danny Glover goes into the crime scene where the cartel guys were, and they're like hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just so much blood everywhere. It was way more gorier, if that's a word.
Gorier
than the first one. It's
gorier.
Got way more gore in it than the first one.
I think maybe that's where they were compensating for the script not being.
I think so too.
Up as much because there's that sex scene in that.
Oh, too. Well, yeah, of course you gotta have one. Yeah. But, I do love. You know, Central America was scary.
Yeah.
Because there's no one there to help. You know, there was the chopper. It was coming eventually.
Yeah, chopper.
But you had to get to it, and you had to wait for it.
Yeah, you had to wait for Arnold to yell.
And so, yeah, exactly. They were waiting on Arnold to yell for it.
To get some badass bush, but nothing like this.
Yeah, exactly. And that's scary. But so's Los Angeles, too.
Yeah, different kind of scary.
Different kind of scary. Like, you had Danny Glover was going around fighting off all these cartel guys, and the Predator at the same time.
Yeah. And
then, you know, I think Los Angeles was just a really cool setting for the Predator, and it missed its mark because I think it was just a little bit ahead. I think if they would have waited several more years and then tried it again with better CGI, better visuals, I think it would have worked. But, I mean, and I guess it did work because they made money off of it.
Like Terminator 2 budget kind of visuals. Yeah.
I think it kind of mimics reality in a way.
Awesome.
I mean, that was 2 years before the LA riots.
Yeah.
And you see that opening scene.
Yeah, and it's the same. Yeah. You could mistake it for the news.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean...
Didn't think about that.
Kind of like the last scene where he enters the Predator ship.
Yeah. And then you see all the skulls.
Yeah. And that, of course, do you guys think if they hadn't done that scene that we would have got AVP later on?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so. Because that was like the big fan outcry that everybody... Because I don't really remember it, but I remember reading about it a while back. About how many, like, there was just such a big fan outcry for an Alien versus Predator movie because of seeing the alien.
Yeah.
Not that we're going to go there. This is a gory movie series, but we're not going to go into AVP today.
No. And
is one for just Predators.
You know, if we wanted to do one later, we could, but AVP and AVP Requiem, they're not canon, so it doesn't matter. Like, we don't need to
I didn't even watch Requiem, or
you're better off for not doing it.
Is it Requiem?
Requiem,
yeah. I didn't watch it. Whatever it is.
However you say it.
Whatever.
And
I haven't seen
AVP 2, I didn't watch.
The second one is pure garbage. Like, hot garbage. Yeah. I mean, I would
even more so garbage than Predator 2.
If we were going to grade movies A through F, it would get an H.
Yeah, all the way, elemental P.
Yeah. It'd get a Z.
It would get a, yeah.
It was garbage. The first one is actually a lot of fun to watch.
H for hot garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of fun to watch. The second one's not. It's stupid. But, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. We're not going to talk about AVP anymore.
Yeah.
I do have a lot to say.
I don't want to talk about AVP. And I'm not going to bring it up again. Don't make me bring it up again.
But
just kill me.
Then after, you know, we've been to Central America, and then after that we went to Los Angeles. Then in 2010, they gave us Predators, which
directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Well, it was directed by Nimrod.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Nimrod Antal, or however you say his.
He produced
yeah, exactly. His name's Nimrod. Or Nimrod, or I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for butchering your name.
Yeah, I apologize.
I'm a redneck.
Nimrod.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
Now, I could be wrong, but in mythology, isn't Nimrod a great hunter?
Yeah.
No, there's a funny little anecdote right there.
So Robert Rodriguez did this movie, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was out of his studio. He did all the leg work.
Right.
I think he just put this guy in the director spot and was like, you know, this is my vision. You finish it. Mm-hmm. I think. You know, I know Robert Rodriguez was in talks of doing it from, like right after he.
Yeah, sometime in the 90s.
Yeah, right after Desperado got big.
Yeah. Oh, really?
He was in talks to do Predator. So, you know, this was back when his studio was just getting really big and getting well known. You know, I think it was after the first Machete. So, I mean, it was getting big. You know, he'd already done Once Upon a Time in Mexico and shit like that, and everybody was loving him. So, you know, but this was the most surprising for me because I love Predator. And I like Predator 2, even though it's not good. But I seen on the poster Adrian Brody. And I thought, automatically, this is going to be garbage. How the fuck could you put the pianist as the guy?
I agree. I'm not a fan of him at all.
No. But he absolutely blew my mind.
Oh,
he absolutely blew my mind. I had no idea he could be such a badass.
I know, complete different than what he's used to. Like I think the first time I remember Adrian Brody was The Village.
Oh my god, I forgot he was in that.
Remember he's in The Village, he's the one that stabbed Joaquin.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little mental case, and he was the one that turned out he was...
As he should have.
He was butchering.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should get a shot at Joaquin exactly. One time or another.
Yeah, he should have finished them all. Because then we wouldn't have had the shit we had later. Yeah, Yeah, he's the one that was butchering the animals, turns out at the end, too.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. I like that one. Anyway, Adrian Brody, not a big fan, so it was weird for me.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I can respect Adrian Brody's acting without liking him.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel about him. He's an excellent actor. He's like a super hardcore method actor. I know he almost starved himself to death to do The Pianist.
Ugh.
Just to get himself in the mindset for this.
All for a little fucking Globe or a little Grammy award or whatever, or not Grammy, that's music, but Emmy, whatever they fucking call them. Is that Emmy?
No,
is that music too?
It was Golden Globe.
Golden Globe. Is that the person, the statue,
I think. I don't know.
Here we were talking about movies, and I don't even.
I don't pay attention to any of that.
It's the astronaut with the popcorn.
Yeah, the astronaut with the popcorn. Yeah. The MTV.
The
MTV Movie Awards.
Those are the only movie awards I think I've ever watched.
The only time I can.
I watched the Spike ones. I used to watch the Spike ones that were on there.
See, the only ones I remember was when Jim Carrey was being a weirdo. Well, he's always been a weirdo, but the one where he'd come out and always gave the craziest speeches. Have you ever watched those videos?
Yeah.
And now he's actually crazy.
Yeah, full blown.
Now he's full blown crazy.
Psychopath.
Who am I?
He must have watched his own movies.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I'm not even here. This is not our planet. We're not real.
I was excited about this
He's
movie.
a philosophizer all of a sudden.
A year before it came out when I heard about it. And then when I heard Adrian Brody, I'm like, ooh, that's a interesting choice, but at least they went with the best actor for the role. And turned out pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Well, I was more than pleasantly surprised because I was expecting it to not be good because of him.
Oh yeah.
And then the very first time I'll tell you this will tell you how basic I am. As soon as I seen him carrying an AA-12 shotgun, I jizzed. It was just just too good.
It was weird.
It was too good.
It was really weird. I jizzed. It was
not really.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying,
sure,
though.
Sure.
I mean, he fit the part. Because, I mean, he doesn't have the same presence as Arnold. And he doesn't have the same presence as Danny. But it doesn't matter what kind of presence you have. If you're holding an AA-12 shotgun...
Yeah, you just told everybody what they needed to know.
You just told everybody everything they need to know about you.
Exactly.
You're there to fuck shit up.
I will say that it was interesting. I was really intrigued from the very beginning. I was pretty much hooked from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Them falling out of the sky.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Opening.
Like all of them.
Amazing
Yeah, like
opening.
all of them. I don't know. I just woke up and I was falling.
Yeah.
And most of them woke up. Like one guy fell because his parachute didn't open, or he didn't wake up or something. But everyone else pretty much fell and made it. And I woke up falling. Don't know how I got here.
And the cast that fell and made it, I think it doesn't rival Predator.
No,
but it's a good cast.
It's very good.
It's a good cast. It really is, and they're so diverse, like in their backgrounds and where they come from. Walton Goggins was awesome.
I was just about to say, can we talk about Walton Goggins and how fucking awesome he was?
Yeah,
and he was basically the same character.
He was on death row, about to be executed.
He was basically the same character from Justified that he is.
Kind of.
I mean, he's just a white trash,
crazy bastard. Yeah,
crazy murdering son of a
Predator
bitch.
shanking.
Yeah. Is that not the coolest shit you've ever seen?
The way he went out was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The way he went out was awesome.
Yeah. He's awesome. I think
great actor. Love him.
I guess you could already consider him made.
Yeah,
you could already consider him good,
I guess.
or established.
He's not full blown like.
But I still think he's the next big thing.
You think so? Still now?
I think so.
I think I could see that. I don't think he's as big as Timothy the Elephant still. But,
no.
But even Timothy's not like big like.
No.
But he's like a likable guy. He seems like a really cool guy. Like
great character actor.
That too, yeah. Justified's one of my favorite shows.
Oh,
like for real, it's one of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
Danny Trejo's death scene.
I was just about to say.
Oh, I know.
I love that.
That was maniacal, and it got me in the theater. It's like, oh wow, he's using them as bait.
Yeah.
It was great.
He was just sitting there, and they never showed his face, and it was sitting there, and he was help me, and then Brody, of course, being the awesome guy he was, he's like, it's a trap, or it's bait. Don't and then of course they had to go and the one girl. instead of going out, she decided to put him out of his misery and shot him.
And then he started
again. And then he started again, and you're like, what the fuck? And it turns out he was dead the whole time, and the Predator had recorded the voice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was so fucking cool.
And that set the tone because, like, the most badass guy in your entire squad is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I did love, I don't know the guy's name, but the Yakuza guy.
Yeah.
I loved that. It was very Billy-esque, from the first film.
It was a callback for sure.
Yeah. And that was, we were talking about this earlier. That was probably like some of the most beautiful cinematography ever. Like the wheat and everything and the moonlight. It was just awesome. That whole, sword fight was just amazing. And
the score, that's one thing I didn't get to say about Predator. I really liked the score and that music as a callback too for, Billy's standoff. Just, I don't think enough credit goes to the score.
No,
to
probably
those
not.
movies.
Probably not.
I don't remember Predator 2's all that well, but I imagine it's probably about the same.
Yeah. I don't think Predators has won anything to write home about, but it was good. I guess fine. Yeah. It was cool. It had some really good shots, and I think there's a lot of really cool scenes about it. A lot of the cool characters. That scene where they realized they were on a preservation planet or like a hunt, they were basically game, and they seen the other planets in the sky. That was an awesome moment. Oh, yeah. Like where the fuck are we kind of thing. Yeah. That was awesome to me.
I hated Lawrence Fishburne.
Worst, oh my god, what was that about?
Way too far over the top.
Weird.
Way too far over the top.
I get what he's going for, but it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Dude,
I don't care how established he is as an actor.
He did not play that one well.
The director, that's all on the director. He should have said, "Hey, cut your shit."
Yeah, tone his shit down a little bit.
And he may have told him to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I hope not.
Morpheus might have come in there and said, Morpheus does what he wants.
I can't watch him act now without thinking of this movie.
I know. Another one that I was actually really, really surprised by. By the way, I love that dude's fucking Beretta in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
My God, that was awesome. Yeah. Anyway, Topher Grace. Yeah. I was really surprised at the end by that.
Yeah.
What
I knew there was something up, but because he didn't belong.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and of all the things, because people had a reason for being there. They were either good at what they did or they were bad.
Yeah.
And then, like, they were picked for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
And then they brought him in, and he was, like, really good with anatomy and other things. He was really, I guess, I don't know, was he a scientist? I can't remember.
No, he was a doctor.
That's right. He was a doctor. So he's really good with anatomy and things.
He was either a doctor or a nurse. I think he was a doctor.
Something like that. But yeah, that twist at the end with him like adding to that, I was like, what the fuck,
I
dude?
thought that was awesome.
Oh my God,
wild.
it was crazy.
It was wild. That was like the only time I've ever liked Topher Grace.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting this script and reading it and that's your character and you get to the end and oh my gosh.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even have to happen, but it was just interesting.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And by the way, when Brody's character took him out, he's like, I'm fast, He basically, I'm really fast.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but it's kind of weird dialogue, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
because he was fast. I mean, he just fucking grabbed him, wham, and shoved that knife right in his fucking throat.
Yeah, it was awesome. And yet again, I mean, that's
and
another thing.
Then you had the reference to the first Predator with the mud and come on, kill me, and that was a pretty cool fight though. Even though it was a little bit too much, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a long time.
It really at that point, it had.
And the Predator in this movie played by another great creature actor, Derek Mears.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'd be hard to say he's the new Peter Hall, but he kind of is.
Yeah, for a lot of things.
That's.
What'd you think of the end?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
I thought it was neat.
It was neat. It was
neat.
Yeah.
I don't like because it just shows.
I wasn't mad at it. I'll say that.
Well, I mean, it ran long enough, and you didn't need to see them get off the planet or whatever. But you seen the other group coming in. You seen the other people and the other predators being shipped in. They were being dropped in, and they looked up and seen them, and then he's like, "Let's get the fuck off this planet. Let's find a way off this fucking planet or whatever it was." And they walked off, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
it was decent.
I liked her too.
Much better than the second one.
I liked her.
I did too. I did too.
Isabel, I think.
Yeah, much better.
There was one really cool part that not many people caught that I know of that I've talked to anybody. There's a little part there where they all get mad at her because she knew something about the Predator, and like everybody I talk to, nobody talks about that.
No.
I must have forgotten it. It's been a while since
she worked. Everybody there was either a bad guy or a mercenary.
Yeah.
But she actually worked for the government. Like she was a commando.
She knew about the mission in Central America.
About Dutch.
Yeah, she knew about the thing in Central America.
Yeah.
And
so she knew what it was, or had heard what it was. So
I thought that was really...
But she said didn't have a name for it. Like, we don't have a name for it, but...
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That was really cool, yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, because it tied it into the story more than it did, like, this trying to pay homage to the first one, like, in a way that Brody did at the end. They tried to tie it into everything and like, hey, this, because it tried to separate itself and do something different.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it. And it did it better than the second one did.
Oh, yeah, it did.
It really did. This the whole premise of these people being dropped in randomly is cool, because that's another thing, even though a lot of them, like, that's kind of like The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Very good movie. And it's kind of like that everybody, but that's the whole point of that was they knew about it.
Yeah.
But this one they didn't. But it was kind of like that. I love people being dropped in places and say, hey,
like the
survive.
Hunger Games kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, except that's more for
less
girls.
Gay.
To be honest with you. Yeah, it's
gay. This was a little less gay. Just kidding.
Yeah, but
JK.
Rowling. JK Rowling. Seriously, Hunger Games is not as, I think it's overrated.
I've never seen it.
It is.
It really is overrated. It's okay.
It is very overrated.
It's overrated.
It is okay. It's an okay movie.
Yeah.
The first one.
No. And I don't care about the books. Anyway, I like that, though. I like people being dropped in places and basically say, hey, survive. And in this case, it was even better because they were trying to figure out why the fuck they were there.
Yeah.
And then they're like...
where they were.
Yeah, and where they were. And when they figured it out, they're like, all right, we gotta fucking do something.
Yeah.
And then they stayed and fought. They wanted to fight.
Yep.
And that was awesome. And Walton Goggins' death was straight out of Mortal Kombat. Straight out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yep.
But, yeah. No, pretty cool series. Not very many movies. You can't really say too much on. I mean, you can talk about some stuff,
not
but
really.
It's hard for me to talk about. There is
supposed to be a new one come out, I think late 2018 or 2019.
Really?
Yeah, and the only thing I've seen is they have a promotional poster that was in Germany, I think, at some trade show, and it showed the Predator's face in lightning over. It looked like a suburb.
Really?
So that might be really cool.
We're gonna try the Suburban Commando thing again.
Well,
Suburban Commando.
I think it'll work.
Bring in Hulk Hogan.
I think it could work now, especially if they brought in Hulk Hogan.
I think so too.
We'll have to do a single podcast. I kind of like that movie.
Yeah, dude. They need to bring back Jesse Ventura, Hulk Hogan, and some other person just over the top of shit and put them in with a Predator.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Wrestlers versus Predator.
Yeah, we need to have that. Yeah. We need to have
WWE versus
WWE versus Predator.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's money. Roman Reigns is the top dog. He can go there.
The big dog.
The big dog.
If he bleeds, you can kill him.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. Let's just shove him down everybody's throats even more. So let's go ahead and throw him in any movie we can. Let's go ahead. Let's start it now.
I'm surprised I haven't yet.
John Cena can be in there.
Yeah,
he can be like.
He would actually be a good. He would actually be a good guy to.
He could be like a gay transgender. Action hero. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd fit good.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Let's just keep it going. Let's keep this party rolling.
Anyway, I think that's just about everything we needed to say about Predator.
Yeah.
Do you got anything to add?
No.
I wish I could add more, but I mean, they're good movies. I like the first one. I like the third one. Second one's okay. But it's just not.
The first one's in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
It's lower top 10, but it's one of probably second or third favorite action movie ever.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody's got those movies like that you like, but you don't really like. You're not a fan, like a big fan of. Like, and that's kind of what that is for me personally. Like, it's like Alien. I'll watch every Alien that comes out because I've watched all the other ones, and I do like them, but I'm not such a big fan that I need to know and like talk about them all the time. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, it's just not.
Well, I hope.
I know you guys are way bigger fans of Predator than I am.
I'm hoping that you got something to say about Alien because we're gonna be doing we're going to be doing an Alien podcast.
I could probably say a little bit more on Alien.
Well, there's a lot more movies.
Yeah, but none of half of them didn't count. Like half of them I don't count.
True.
Because they were pretty shit.
True.
Like Prometheus was okay.
I think that's a whole other podcast, Prometheus, Covenant.
You think you want to do Prometheus and Covenant different?
What's the new one, Awakening or something?
No, it's just Prometheus and Covenant.
Oh, there's another one coming.
Yeah,
I saw something online. Yeah,
Awakening is coming.
When is it coming? 18?
Either
they're casting for it now.
Either the end of 18 or the beginning of 19.
We'll see how things roll. We might just wait on that podcast. That way we can get Awakening into it. Because we want to have a decent podcast. We only have 2 movies.
I still have to see Covenant, but to be honest, the way Prometheus went down, I'm not all that excited about it.
Yeah,
you'll like Covenant more than you will. I promise, because I didn't like Prometheus that much, and I liked Covenant a lot more.
That's good to hear.
Of course, nothing beats the first and second one,
right.
And Resurrection and 3 was awful, but I just don't count that. I don't like to think about those too much. To be honest.
There is. I mean, I don't want to get too far into it because we're at the end of this one, but there's a lot of good in 3 and Resurrection.
I half agree with you.
You just got to look for it. It's not as good as 1 and 2, and so you automatically assume that since they're not as good that they're garbage, but they're really not. There's a lot of redeeming qualities in 3 and Resurrection.
Maybe I'll just have to go back and watch them because
I think so.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch them again. I need to go back and watch first 2 again. It's been a long time since I've seen those, but I think you'll like Covenant. I really do.
Good deal.
Yeah.
But as for this one, I believe we've said everything that needs to be said. Yep. So we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening.
Catch you on the flip side.
If you haven't seen these, do it now.
Yeah, do it now.